Good evening and welcome to episode 12 of the app breakdown. Today is going to be a quick one because I have a huge headache and I want to go to bed. I'm an old man. And we are taking a look at AllTrails. So AllTrails is the app that people use before they realize that they have free will and that they can walk literally anywhere. No, just kidding. AllTrails is a great app for people who want to hike, bike, or run anywhere. It has won App of the Year in 2023, I believe. And so we're going to take a look at it today, see what we can learn. I'm not actually a user of it because I'm not much of a hiker or biker, but I did have an account. I've used this app for some time, and I've just basically deleted my account for the purpose of this video. Straight up, we have the login or sign up flow. Not much fluff here. They're just like, okay, you need to do this. Let's do it with Apple. Sign in. Okay, so they might have not had the time to actually delete my account. And we have a paywall. I believe this paywall is almost the same as Opal, with a slightly different design. I might be wrong, but there's a product that has a very similar paywall to this one. So there's Plus and there's Peak. So gives you navigation, offline maps, on-trail conditions, etc. Basically all the things that a hiking nerd would want, they're here. Let's not do that because I'm not a hiking nerd. Want to know my location. I'm gonna do allow while using the app. Notifications straight away. Okay, so here they're taking basically the basic yet effective approach where you come on the app, there's nothing for you to see before you even create an account or sign up. There's no selling, it's just like create an account. You get dropped on the home screen, you get prompted to give all the things they need, and there's no fluff. There's no carousels explaining you why they need it. There's no social tricks behind it. It's just like, give us your notifications, and you're most likely than not to just mindly tap allow. So what do we have on the home? So first of all, we have a well-balanced and just beautiful screen that feels light. We have search on top, and there was a little animation there, so changing between the things you can search. We have filters or selectors. We have a banner that basically prompts us to buy the Peak version. Then we have a collection of things. We have a map, and then the bottom navigation. So let's start at the top here with the search. Let's tap it and try searching for Nazaré. Okay. We go, actually, let's look at the search results first. So search results, very clean. They have icons that symbolize which type of entry you're tapping, essentially. So if it's a city, you have the city icon. And I'm not sure what the difference is between the flag and the little post thing. Okay. And it's all very readable, just title, subtitle, and the subtitle with the type of race or the type of trail, and then the location. So it adapts pretty much to everything. They also do double line very well. You can see the double lines here blend super well into the overall design. Everything is center aligned, so that's pretty well thought out. It's very, very balanced. Let's go into the first one here. So what do we have at the top? We have share, save, and more. There's pictures of this trail, and there's a play button. So I'm guessing there's a video, but let's tap that later. And we have a little scroll animation here. Okay, I actually really like this treatment where the page seems like a modal. So you have basically you have the rounded corners, and instead of having the blur that doesn't always look the best with the image there, you just cut it and basically overlay. And when you scroll, it does like a parallax effect going to the top. This is basically much easier to do, but it also looks much nicer than a bad blur. So it's actually a great approach. And as we scroll, you can also see that the header turns dark. This part I'm not the biggest fan of because midway through it looks like this. It doesn't look good. So it would be better to have some other kind of animation or the top of the panel here transform into the header. But it's a little detail. On the header, we have the title, ratings, and then it's like difficulty level and then location. And we have a little section here for basically highlights, aka most important information about this trail. Something that I keep noticing over and over again, and I'll probably notice it until I die or I stop making apps, is that 80% of the job is just information architecture, and then then there's the polish around it. But 80% is just information architecture. You see here the section with the most important things about this trail. You have a long description, option to customize route and get directions, and then a preview of the trail. And then you have an ad, okay? So if you tap remove ads, it's probably gonna go to the paywall, of course. Oh, and we have the weather here. So this is it's very interesting. Let's start by clicking here, customize route, and see what that does. We go to customize route. We have a different style of paywall here, which puts things more in context. That has a nice video playing on the background. And then the same information. Oh, so you can only customize route by going premium. Okay, fair enough. Let's hit get directions. It's probably gonna take me. Oh, so it's also paywalled. Okay, I'm sensing that we're gonna hit a lot of paywalls here, which is fine. An app's gotta eat. Okay, and then you can go to Apple Maps, Google Maps, or copy the clipboard. Great. Let's hit preview trail. See what that does. Okay, so we have a satellite image. Nice transition, Strava style. They probably did it before Strava, actually. I'm not sure of this, but if I had to guess, I'd say they did this before Strava. And to preview everything, once again, you have to pay. Okay, so I feel like the free version of this entire app is just like little teasers. You don't actually get anything. It's just like little teasers. Or you do. I mean, you get the trail and you get to know where it is. So you can get a lot of value from it. Okay, and then here you have little tags for dog-friendly running, walking, etc. Here, I wish they were tappable. I tried to tap one of them immediately to see more dog-friendly things in Nazare. This is something that, for example, Letterboxd did very well on their section. This is on the previous episode, on their section with the directors and the crew and all that. You could just tap to actually use it as a search filter, basically. And I wish I could do the same here. Okay, and if we keep scrolling, we have the weather. We have a very nice weather interaction here. I love these animations. Okay, and I also see that it's plus, so we have to pay for the weather map. But I do love the layout that they have here for... Okay, great. Beautiful. Let's try clicking it. We're probably gonna see the paywall. Oh, okay, so we have a couple things happening here at the same time. Let's see what they are. So this is just the version of the paywall for weather with some nice animations, basically put it in context of what you're gonna get. We have a modal to install the watch app. Oh, I should have my Apple Watch here. I could do this maybe some other time. I'll start bringing the Apple Watch. Okay, let's do it not now. And then we still get some information for the trail, but not the weather information. So it's actually a bit confusing because I was expecting to see weather here, but I'm guessing this is just what happens when you open a trail. Let's go back. Okay, and at the bottom we have reviews, pretty standard review section. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh, and actually, interesting. So as you scroll down, you'll see the search bar come from the top. Basically, you can search reviews. Interesting. It comes a bit out of nowhere, but it is still useful. It would be more pleasing, for example, if the search icon was somewhere here around reviews, and then as you scroll, it becomes part of the header. Sort of like Honk did these types of things. Okay, let's keep scrolling. I think, yeah, it's just reviews. So reviews are at the bottom. And then let's hit the play button here. Okay, and this, I love these modals that don't actually touch the edges. I'm not sure what to call them actually. They probably have a proper name. I just call them modals. But it's not a half sheet. It's not a modal. It's not a pop-up. It's something else that I don't know the name of. Okay, and here we have latest. So this is photos by people who went there. Let's see if we can see the profiles of the people who took the photos. Tap in, tap in. There's someone here. We tap it and we have a profile. Okay, so we're gonna go into the profile next. Let me just go back and finish seeing this view. We have the seasons, which is very interesting because there are for sure trails that are more like winter style and then summer style, whatever. So you want to see what they look like throughout the seasons. This is very interesting. Like they know their audience, because as someone who doesn't hike, this is something that I would not think of doing, which also reminds me basically of the importance of being a user of your own product as a designer. Because if you're not a user, or if, at least if you don't talk to your users a lot, you wouldn't know what to do here. You wouldn't know how to put these little details that actually matter to them. Okay, let's go on tour. So tour is where you have to pay, and you have the little slider here where you can basically see the photos as the path progresses. Okay, let's go into one of the profiles. As I said before, we see here the name of the person, followers, and then for stats, there's the number of activities and the saved places, which is interesting. So whenever you see big numbers on profiles, it usually means that this is what the platform is optimizing for. So it's probably what brings the most retention to the users. In this case, it's either random, which is usually not the case for good apps, or starting a bunch of activities is what makes people stick to AllTrails. And so they put that number big on the profile so that you want to show it off. Okay, and let's go into stats and see what there is here. Oh, I remember seeing these online. Okay, I've never seen them in the app, but I remember seeing this on Twitter, I think. They have the achievements, that are similar in nature, but a very different style to the Apple Fitness achievements or badges. And I really love the design of this. Like, it's so clean. And if you tap one, wait, where did it lead me? Does it lead me to the activity where this person gained? Oh yeah, so most elevation game. And if I tap it, it takes me to the specific activity where this person achieved this badge. Okay, let's scroll down to see progress. So you have here a breakdown per month, per year of the distance, elevation, completed. I'm not sure what completed means. It probably just means like completed activities. And then the moving time. I wish they had different visualizations for each of these. One, for the sake of visual difference, and then two, because this is the kind of stats that power users love to brag about. So if it's beautiful, they're going to screenshot it a bunch, which helps with growth. And so this is where basically beauty and actually making things look good on screenshots has a very tactical growth focus, because like this is not really something I would want to boast, because it doesn't look that cool. But if it had different visuals, if it portrayed it in a more like powerful way, it would be amazing to share. Okay, let's go back to the profile. So there's a bunch of sections here, which I wasn't really expecting. We have feed, photos, reviews, it takes a while to load, activities, completed, which I'm guessing is completed. Oh, so it's completed trails. Okay, yeah, I didn't get this at first. Okay, let's look into the information architecture of the feed items. So there's a lot of information here, but it's actually pretty well spaced out. So you have photos, the biggest. These are photos taken by this user on this map, and you can see the journey there. Okay, let's go back and see the preview first. We have what I think is a user-generated title, the evening ride at Penedo. Then we have location, another location point, length, elevation, time, and a download button. I believe it's a download button. Let's tap it. Yeah, it's a download button, but I don't have access to offline maps. So download button there, comment, and like. Let's see what the comment looks like. Okay. So it takes you to a fully separate page and opens the keyboard. Nice touch that they opened the keyboard. Not so nice that it takes you to a fully different page. But speaking of different page, let's go into this specific activity, tap it, and it has a very similar view to just the regular trails. And I wish there was some more differentiation here, because at a glance, basically just glancing over it, I'm not sure if I'm looking at an activity or if I'm looking at a trail. And I wish it was more obvious which is which. Like there are a lot of differences. Like you have the author, you don't have the rounded corners at the top of the panel. The information at the title is slightly different, etc. But I wish there was some kind of stronger visual element that made you just go straight away, oh, okay, this is a profile, this is not a profile, this is an activity, or this is a trail. Usually headers are good ways to do this because it's what you look at first when you go into a new page. And if we hit recap, okay, we have this Strava style, but for someone else's activity. These are cool. It's very hard to do text like this on the bottom left. That's actually readable because it's very small. It cannot cover the ride behind it. And you have all sorts of terrains and colors behind it. So you see they apply the little gradient here on the back. The subtitles are still not very readable, but I do see where they're going with. Okay, photos. Okay, let's go back and stop stalking this person that I don't know and go into click map here. See what that does. Okay, so map is where we ended up when we actually clicked on weather and I was confused. So this is the view that actually lets you see the trail and lets you see all the details with a map with it. So you can minimize this drawer here, this panel, and you have just the map, which is very cool. Okay, doing it with one hand is not the easiest. Or you can expand it and scrub through the elevation. I really like this. And go into specifics of this trail. So you can change the activity, trail conditions. You can use overlays. Okay, let's do terrain because this is the one we can do. We cannot do the other ones. Okay, and live share. So this is sharing your location essentially with someone. Very handy if you're going in the middle of effing nowhere. Okay, something that I've noticed also here is, for example, let's tap on activity. So this is a modal on top of the other modal. And in terms of navigation, it's a bit wishy-washy because you have the close button on the top left, just a bit left there. Also, when you tap this, there's no animation whatsoever for the background part. I usually expect sheets to go a bit in the background to have that visual cue that they're still there. And at the top here, it's very hard to differentiate between the sheet in front and the sheet on the back. So I wish there was a bit more of a difference in color there. And then something else is also that the headers are inconsistent. So activity has this big space on top and the close button on the left. But trail conditions has no close button and a little handle. And it only opens halfway, basically. Only opens half of the screen. It's a little consistency point that we have to take off. Okay, and here we have the close on the left again. So I'm guessing that's what they use most often. Yep. Okay. So let's close this and tap here on the button that says new. See what that is. So new. Peek. Identify plants and insects. Oh, interesting. So you can be on your walk. You see something that you don't know what it is and you actually take a photo of it through the app. This is probably them like expanding into new use cases for, oh, this is a bug. Okay, go back. This is probably them like expanding into different use cases. Because if you download the app, you already use it, you have it there, and you see something, you might use it again. And then this is another way to upsell you into buying the Peek. So yeah, I have no idea if the people who use AllTrails actually want an image identifier or not. But I do know that image identifier apps make a lot of money. So maybe there's an interest there. Let's tap here on start, see what that does. Not at the trail yet, start now. Let's pretend that we're there. Okay, no. Now it's just showing my current location. I don't want to show my current location. Okay, so what I did here was basically I went into the map and I clicked start. And so now I have an activity running for 14 seconds because I want to show you what the finish animation looks like, because it's very cool. So if I just finished an activity, I press finish. Yes, I'm finished. They have this rewarding animation showing you the activity, the distance that you did, and the elevation gain, and the time, and a way to rate your trail or your activity. So this is pretty cool. It gives you all the information. As you can see, I walked a lot for a long time. And then let's rate it 5 stars, obviously, because this was amazing. And if you rate it, they just expand this rating. I tried to pull it down. Since it came up, I tried to pull it down to dismiss it, but it's not a panel in this case. So let's do great views. Next. Any conditions to note? Yes, there were insects. Next, and no comments. Next. And this is where they prompt you to share photos. So you'd share your photo gallery to be able to share photos to the app, which just makes sense. Okay, thanks for sharing. You have here a view of your activity, and you can tag someone that you did it with. So this is interesting. It's where the app goes from a full utility app for yourself to something that is social. You just went on a hike with someone, most likely. So let's do a tag friend. Let's see what that does. Okay, it opens the blurred share sheet. Nothing special. So I'm not sure how the tagging would actually work. Okay, let's close this. You can see my activity at Pinhal da Nazaré. Let's go to saved. Let's explore a different tab. So we were, okay. We were on explore. Oh, if I double tap the nav bar, it doesn't go back. See, I was double tapping the nav bar, expecting it to go back, but it doesn't do that. So I wish it did. Okay, so seeing more things on the explore. I can't believe we're still on the explore page. This is a good app to look at. Let's try changing to epic views. There's a cool animation on the icon there, and things just load gracefully. You can see that this app is pretty good at loading content on the fly, because there's a lot of images here to load, and even still there's no flashing when I switch between modes here or switch between filters. So it fades in very nicely. It plays the little animation at the top, and then it just gives you the content. Let's scroll, see if there's something here to see. Okay, the scroll is actually paginated. So they do scroll jacking, and as you scroll, it actually stops where they wanted to stop. I'm gonna be honest. I hate scroll jacking. I much rather prefer people just let me scroll. I hate it when Instagram try to do this. I hate when websites do this. Like, I just really don't like it. Where it makes sense is usually in horizontal pagination, because you're expecting it. If it's like horizontal pagination, you're expecting it to lock somewhere. But whenever it's vertical, it's very weird to me. Let's go into my profile. See what you have there. So we have 3 activities here. You have my location, the logbook, and then a bunch of things that I have not filled out for obvious reasons. Okay, actually I have a completed thing now, which I did for 0 seconds or 18 seconds. Let's go into activity. So this is basically just a feed of the things I've done. So where I was. Oh, actually no. So this is where I was for me when it says you. And then if I go to local, is people that are around me. What have they been up to? Okay, this is interesting. It's also a good way to basically explore, to see like, okay, what are people around me actually doing this time of the year? Which trails are they hitting? Where should I be going? And this gives you the information of where you should be going. Okay, and then following. So you can follow people. You have suggestions here, Instagram style, and you can just go ahead and follow. And you have also notifications on the top right. I'm not sure what you'd be notified about. It's probably like likes to your completed trails, comments, and things of that nature, like basic social stuff. If we go on explore, we have seen this. Let's see the filters here. Nothing too fancy. Whoop, that's a pro feature. Okay. What they're very good at is the content. For example, like Letterboxd, which was done specifically for films. So they had all the film information. This is done only for trails. Therefore, they have all the trail information. They know what's child-friendly, wheelchair-friendly, circular, out and back, light, moderate, all of that. And it's a pretty cool example of specification. If you, as people usually say, if you build it for everyone, then you're really building it for no one. And AllTrails is a good example because there is nothing here that you can't do on Google Maps, but they just do it better. Like this isn't that deep, just like any app is not that deep, but they gather all the right content, they present it in the right way, and they niche it down to the things you actually care about, or the users of this app actually care about. And so it just makes it a better experience. Like nobody who actually takes hiking seriously would use like Apple Maps or Google Maps over this, when maybe they could, but it would just be a terrible experience. Okay. And I think this is going to be it for today. So we have the lists here. I can create a list, downloads and parks. Okay, I think we're going to cut it here. So AllTrails, I'm a huge fan. They do a lot of things right. They do micro interactions where it matters, but never excessive. They do information architecture that is extremely clear. The app feels light, even though it's full of maps and full of images and full of everything. And they also do social in an interesting way, which is by complementing what is otherwise a single player app. So you don't see social front and center here. It's not trying to make you follow people straight away, but it's using other people. It's using the network to give you value and actually transforms your activities into social ones after you've done them. So it's a very interesting way to do social, and something that I'm passionate about. Nice little touches, great information architecture, good inclusion of social on something that would otherwise be just a single player tool. Very clean app. I'm a big fan. And this was episode 12 of the App Breakdown. I'm going to go to bed. See you on the other one.